saving and fighting with the plant to try to get it out. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's ever harvested cannabis, but this is like the best and the worst time because it's not fun harvesting, but at the same time you're harvesting. Can I put this on you? Yeah, for sure. Thank you. But like I said, I'm also allergic to it, so I really don't enjoy the harvest. Now I got a trim machine, bro. I don't even mind trimming no more. 10 years, I've never had a trim machine. And I've never trimmed my whole garden in 2 days. I got a trim machine, trim my whole garden. I've never known how much cannabis I've ever produced because I've never trimmed it all at once and weighed it. It was pretty cool having a trim machine. If y'all want to pull your phone out and play some music, you're more than welcome to. Y'all can't talk to each other about anything and everything. It's just quiet in here.
You alright? It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, so whoever's doing it like this, we don't have to go that deep. We could just remove the leaves.
You just want the big ones off?
Yeah, because we got a trimmer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yep. I mean, unless you like trimming. I don't like trimming. That's why I brought the trimmer in for you guys. Yeah, so basically I just want you to remove any what I would consider to be garbage leaf. So anything that you wouldn't use for processing. Actually um, buck, buck the buds off the branches. Bucking means take the buds off the branches, by the way. So if you ever hear somebody say bucking or a bucking machine, that's what that means. It means taking the buds off the branch. You could throw the sticks in the garbage right here. And then we'll just take that straight to processing. Girl, to know your name. I saw you standing. No, that's all trash. You know me too. Always there. Build up my confidence. Here, I'm gonna grab this. Grab your tray. You can put all your bud in there, and then we can go in the other room and sit down. Here, guys. Grab a tray. Oh shit, Mo. That goes with yours. You gotta grab 2 of them. Yeah, so give that one to Mo, because that one goes to the bottom of his. You gotta grab the next 2. Here, grab you one too. And then y'all can put the bud in there, and then we can go in the other room and sit down. You know what I mean? Here we go. I'm gonna go grab 1, 2, 3, 4 more. I'll be right back. And then we can just put the untrimmed bud in here, and then we can go sit down in the other room and trim. That way we ain't standing up. You know what I mean? All over each other. So grab some more buds to throw in there to get done. But we're gonna just take some bud down, and then we're gonna go in the other room and sit in the chairs because everybody's crammed
That's
on top
even
of each
better.
other.
I'll take pictures in there then, because I can't get
It's better
really good
lighting.
pictures, yeah.
We could probably find a better place for the 360 to go up. I need 4 more trays. Yeah. Fuck, I did not get the 2. Yep, for sure. Just a little bit more than that, yeah. That's perfect. You can go ahead into the other room if you want. Yeah, like I said, just
You don't want me to go crazy with it. Just
take the
fuck
bud off.
and get rid of all the big leaves.
Yeah, yep. And then I'll bring the trimmer in there. And then when we get something done, just throw it in the trimmer and we can trim up somewhat. And then we can start stuffing tubes. We can start getting some on dry ice. That way we just get the process started. And I'm not taking up too much of y'all time and everybody gets to enjoy, huh?
Which room are we going to?
The same one we were just in. Yeah, try to just grab the tops. That way we're just grabbing top buds. That way we're using the quality for what we're about to process. That's all right. Since you already cut it, just cut the string. All right.
It's all tangled in that one.
Cut that one for me. What's that? You can do whatever you want to. They got the 360 camera set up. So whatever you doing, they said, you know, if you
Right,
gonna
tell
do
them.
something, yeah. Yeah, just grab the top buds. Just grab all tops. Sorry. Yeah, just grab all the tops off of them. And you know, y'all really could just pull the leaves off if y'all look at me. You really could just pull off. Cause this not about to be show and tell bud, so you know what I mean? It's not like you can't touch it really for real. We're about to blast it anyway. It's just a little quicker process. But yeah, just make sure we take the buds off the stems. I'm gonna do a little bit of this and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start coming around collecting the bud that's ready. And I'll let you guys stuff the tube. I do believe I left my stick that I used to stuff with. So I'm gonna have to run around here and see if I can find something. So y'all know CBD, CBN, CBG, CBC. Y'all know those cannabinoids. So I was talking to Erin and she was like, you know how they get more CBN in a plant or like for processing, you know how like you might go to the dispensary and it might be like these gummies are like a 1-to-1 THC to CBN for sleeping. She was like, so the precursor for THC and CBD is CBN. So if you harvest a plant earlier, it'll have more CBN in it. So these plants may have a higher dose of CBN in them than normal because we are pulling them a little early. Just a little fun fact. Also growing cannabis, you can alter some terpenes in the plant, meaning Mo and I could grow the same ice cream cake, but one of us could either extract a different terpene, which makes ours taste a little bit different than theirs, or the other one could not extract as many terpenes. And you can do that through, let's say, temperature. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of like people saying like they drop the temperatures late in the flower to get the bud to turn purple, and then people call it cold terps. You ever heard somebody say cold terps? That's because they're dropping the temperature. So like if you grow that weed at a higher temperature, you know, let's just say they're dropping the temperature at night to, let's say 65, and then during the day it's getting up to like 74, 73. You're gonna get a different reaction out of the plant than if you ran it at a higher temperature, and you would get different terpenes to come out. So that's how, you know, I could get more color in my plant and a different flavor out of my plant, if that makes sense to you guys. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the same thing with like THCA flower. It's a flower that they just pull earlier before there's more THC on a plant so that it tests. So do you guys think it's better to process, meaning make extracts from cured plant material, or fresh plant material?
Fresh frozen.
Huh?
Fresh frozen.
That's what you think is better?
Or, yeah.
Is there a reason why you think that's better?
Would it freeze all the trichomes?
Yeah, I mean, it'll freeze all the trichomes if you do it when it's cured too. But why do you think it's better that it's fresh? No wrong answer. You all right?
Higher moisture content, colder.
Higher moisture content colder?
No, that's just what I was watching on the video.
Okay. So the benefit of doing a fresh frozen is that there are going to be more cannabinoids and terpenes available because they haven't evaporated off yet. So you will have a different taste because it's fresh. But is it better than cured? Or are they equal? Or is it just the fact that there's more terpenes is why fresh frozen is better? Was basically what I'm asking. Because if you go to the dispensary, you'll see live resin, or you'll see live rosin, or you can see cured.
That's just the chemical used. Like,
No. Yeah, well, rosin and resin is the chemical used, but live and cured means that, like, how we just cut these plants down, and then we're about to process this, means that this is is about to be a live extraction. So it's going to have more flavor and cannabinoids and terpenes than if it was cured.
like dried nuts.
Right, because it hasn't evaporated off yet. It's still here. You know, some terpenes are volatile at like, what does it have, like 85 degrees? Some terpenes are volatile at what, like 85 degrees, 70?
100, 170 some. Yeah, it's real low.
It's
The
super
alcohol
low.
can burn up.
I know the one that's Apple is lower than that. It's in the 70s or something like that.
Super low.
So is this room like too warm to dry sift then?
Technically,
It's,
so
10 degrees in here.
yeah, so technically, in a dry sifting room, it would probably be 32 or lower. You know what I mean? Is ideal. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're doing bubble hash, you want it to be cold. You want it to be, you know, if you could have a room and it's 32 or lower, that's ideal. Obviously, it's not ideal for you to work in that condition, but you're gonna work faster. But yeah, so you want it to be cold as possible. So, you know, when this was what, 10, 15 years ago, I learned how to do my extractions, and I used to follow a guy. His name is BC Bubbleman. He's out of Canada. I don't know if you've ever heard of the bubble bags,
Yeah, okay.
but
Did he create those?
yes. So there's the bubble man bags, and then there's bubble bags. So bubble bags are the original bags, and he's the one that created that. Yeah, that's why he's the bubble man. So he only smokes bubble hash. He doesn't smoke flower, really. You know what I mean? If you've ever heard me say that this plant is the mailman and everything that we want from this plant is the male, meaning THC or CBD or, you know, the terpenes or anything like that, like I got that from him. Because he's like, I don't smoke the flower. I literally only smoke the crystals because that's what you're smoking. If you remove all the crystals from the flower, then the flower has no benefits to you.
True.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, you literally smoke the flower to smoke the crystals that's on it. That's why we smoke it or vaporize it, or that's what we're processing it for. You know what I mean? So that's why he says that this is the mailman and that the crystals and everything else is the mail. But yeah, I got that from him. He does the dry sifting, And that's when you would have cured material. So you would let this plant cure completely, and then he would tumble it on a dry sift screen, and he would gently tumble it. So put it on there, maybe tap the screen. Like everybody's got a screen in their thing. He would maybe tap it a couple times like that, and then take everything off. And then he would collect that, and that would be his.
Press it.
No, he wouldn't. He would just smoke it like that. He would collect it like that, and his bubble hash like that. So back then, before rosin was a thing, which is the pressing of it, people would do what they called screen tech. So, you know how you have the nail and the knife for the dab rig, like old school. They would set a screen on top of that, and then they would take the bubble hash and they would put it in between parchment paper, and then they would rub it up with their thumb, because it's full melt bubble hash. So it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, turn into something pliable now once they warm it up with their thumb, and they would flatten it out, and then they would put it on that screen, and then they would set the screen on there, and that residual heat from that nail would warm that up, and that's how they used to dab with it, and they would call it screen tech. So then you would be able to also see the quality of the hash, because if it was really a 6-star hash, is what they call it, then there would be no residue left on the screen. You know what I mean? It would just be like you never used it, pretty much. Sometimes you would have residue left on screens, and you'd be like, oh, okay, this is a 5-star, this is a 4-star. You know what I'm saying? That's how they would, be able to rate it. You know what I mean? Then the rosin press came out, and that was kind of discovered by accident. So, back in the days, they would take hash, and they would do the double boiler method over the stove, and they would glass bowl, and then they would take the hash and they would run it along the inside of that warm bowl, and it would release all of the oils, which would be the same as using heat press, but this way you're just using heat. And then they would get the oil out of it like that, and somebody thought about that, and then they went and grabbed a damn clothes or hair straightener and some parchment paper and put a bud in between it and smashed it. And lo and behold, we have rosin. That's how rosin was came. For those that didn't know, I know some of this might be new to everybody, but yeah, that wasn't something that's always been around. Rosin is very, very new.
Do you prefer that method over any other? What's your favorite?
My favorite method would be rosin. I don't know. I feel like out of all concentrates, I mean, I've had some great sauces, which you can make from liquid CO2 or butane. I've had some great sauces that taste great, but I just love the way rosin tastes as a concentrate over anything else. So I prefer rosin. Rosin is definitely what I'm gonna buy. I'm not really gonna buy too many resins. Only way I'll buy it is if it's in a strain that I really, really like. But yeah, I'm a rosin guy. Like right now, I got some rainbow sherbet, or not, rainbow belts, live rosin from Clutch in my bag. And what else I got in there? Oh, it's called Jomo. It's GMO to sugar smacks, and that's really good too. But also, depending on the strain of the plant, is really what you want to focus what extraction method you use, because not all strains are going to wash, meaning like for bubble hash, not all strains are going to make a bubble hash. Some strains are have a lot more water-soluble terpenes in them. So you'll go to wash it, and you'll be like, it looked really frosty, or it was 30%, and you go to wash it, and you don't get a high yield. You get like a 2 or 3% yield return, because that's not a washable strain. A lot of the terpenes are in the water now, and you can't get them back. So a lot of growers will test plants with the mason jar and ice cold water, and they'll throw the plants in there. They'll throw quarter or eighth in there, and they'll determine how much crystal is at the bottom of the jar from that amount of bud that they put in there, if it's worth it to wash it or not. I've learned that the hard way. You go to wash something, and you're like, yes, I'm about to throw these 3 plants in here. We're about to get this huge return, and you go to scoop it up, and you're like, it's a fucking eighth. like, it should have been at least a half ounce or more. It's an eighth. Like, yeah, that's not a washing strain. And sometimes, it is. But, that same thing, if I would have used it and I would have blasted it with butane, I probably would have got 4 ounces from it. You know what I mean? Because it would have all been extracted through that process. It's depressing, but also, so like when you go to buy seeds, you'll see some growers and breeders that tell you, like, this is a washing strain. You know what I mean? Means it's going to give you a 5 to 10% return on your bubble hash. It's just better for that. But also on that same note, something that doesn't produce a lot in a bubble hash or a rosin, you can demand a higher price point for.
Crazy price point.
Huh?
Clutch has a crazy price.
And that's what I was just about to bring up. So
I like the hash rosin, man. We got a good pricing quote here. Hash rosin. That's just
listen, their live hash rosin is like $60 to $70 for a gram. And listen to me. I produce flour. I produce rosin. Rainbow Belts is one of my favorites. I know it doesn't produce a lot. I'm willing to pay that $60 to $70 for that because I know how good it is. I enjoy it that much, and I know the process that goes into it. I know it's worth it. You know what I mean? So when you do this, you can have a better appreciation for a higher price point for something that you know is good. You know what I mean? Like, you understand that. What?
Rainbow belts. Like if I got a rainbow belt right now including the puff coat, what temperature would you?
I usually run my Puffcos on green, which is the second one. So it's blue, green, red, then white.
Pro, man. I need like actual numbers.
Yeah, so I just got the proxy and I just got the regular, so I don't.
Like would you? That's the low temp, the green over.
The green is low, blue is medium, then red is like medium high, and then hot they call what, peak or something like that. Yeah, so I don't really know what the temperature is because I ain't got my bread up to get the pro yet.
Bride, sometimes like buy one get one free on it. They used to. I don't know now with the rags.
Swear.
Buy one get one free on any puff coat.
That's crazy. But yeah, I love my Puffco, bro. I wish I had a pro. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I had a pro. There's a dude at my job that got the proxy. I don't know if y'all know what the proxy look like, but the pipe looking one. He got that joint in every color they make it in. Listen, that's what I said too. But so like the dispensaries, a lot of people don't know. Like, so for medical patients, some dispensaries may run a reward system. You know, you shop here, you get rewards. Every dollar you spend, you get points and stuff like that. So back in the day, I guess they had one where, like, if you shop here once a week for 6 weeks, you get like 600 extra rewards points. Or then they had one like where, like, week one you shop, you get 100 rewards. Week two you get 200. Week three you get 300. So they was accumulating rewards quicker than they are now. So I can understand how he could, do that. But
That's just, man, that's a
but yeah, but you got to think about it though.
every color.
But you got to think about this though. So you're buying the weed anyway from the dispensary, and this is something that they're giving to you for free. You're not buying the weed to get the Puffco. I'm buying the weed and getting the Puffco. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So I look at it different. Like, I'm buying the weed anyway. That's just what makes me come shop at your dispensary. You know what I mean? Because you have that perk. So I'd rather come get those perks because then I can get gift cards or Puffcos, or you know what I mean? Like, it just makes it a benefit to shop at this dispensary.
All right, cool, you spent $200 today, here's your free half ounce.
Right? And it may get to like that. It's gonna take a while because my dude go up to Michigan, and yeah, but they had it for
Necessarily the half ounce, but.
yeah, they had it for the trappers. So like every pound you bought, you got an extra free ounce. And in the beginning, they was letting him choose which ounce he wanted. Like, it was no whole bars. Like, you can get top shelf. You know what I mean? Like, so so he was eating that up. You know what I mean? Cause
Every time you re-up,
yeah. So you get a free half ounce of some gas bag that you want to smoke. You can't really beat it. You know what I mean? It's hard to beat it. It's just like when Ohio went legal. The day we went legal, Michigan was selling ounces for like $60. You know what I'm saying?
don't
Just
sleep.
make edibles or something. You can go to Michigan and buy an ounce of shit for 15.
Yeah.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Whereas you go to the dispensary in Ohio, and all of a sudden that same bag of shakes $100.
Right.
Friday, Friday.
If it's the same bag, because they're going to give you a whole ounce up in Michigan, you're going to get a half ounce here for 100.
But
But everybody also got to understand this, right? So Ohio is medical. The state of Ohio gave the growers so much square footage to grow, right? So that's why they have to grow vertically. They can't grow horizontally, they got to grow vertically, right? So now they gave them the okay for recreation. I'm not 100% sure on how much more space they gave them, but now you got to grow you went from
all the medical patients.
150,000 to 250,000 people that you were growing for to 2 million now. You know what I mean? And we still got to get it from the same producers. There's no extra producers. There's no, you know what I mean? So you got to think about it. The price is going to be high. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The price is going to be high.
They'll eventually come down.
You know what's going to make it come down?
Okay, so here's a question.
No. Competition.
Yeah. When they soften up more expensive.
And you know what they did, right? There's no competition because they only allow so many growers.
So here's a question.
This is how many growers it is in Ohio as it is in this room. Put it like that. That's how many growers it is. You think it's hard to get them all in a room and say, hey, this is the price for weed, guys. This is what we're selling it for in Ohio. Don't fuck the bag up. Don't fuck the bag up. You know what I mean? Don't fuck the bag up. Now that's meaning that's what they're going to sell it to the dispensaries for. Now the dispensary's going to put their juice on it, but that's up to them, the juice that they put on it. It's up to them, the sales and discounts that they allow. Like, I don't know if y'all shop, but some dispensaries allow you to stack your discounts. Some won't. You know what I mean? Some won't, and some will limit the stacking. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're an employee, you may get 25% off or 20% off, right? So it's already on sale, right? So if it's 30% off, you think they're gonna give you the 30% off plus your employee discount? You know what I mean? And then what if they're giving you 10% off as a medical patient, like most dispensaries are right now because of rec? You think they're gonna add that on there too? And now you're down to what, 65%? And then, oh yeah, you made a pre-order, so here's another discount. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, yeah, they're gonna limit your discounts. But also at the same time, you're gonna go shop wherever who's stacking them. You know what I'm saying?
So when they say that like the grower's license for a tier 2 is 3,000 square feet of grow space, what do they consider grow space?
The building.
The building itself is.
I'm pretty
less than
sure.
3,000 square feet.
I'm pretty sure that's the
I didn't
grow.
know if like a grow space
Or-
is considered, this is like my veg, flower, and clone room, so this is my grow space, and the building itself is 10,000 square feet.
Yeah, I don't know. We went to a grow facility and it was small. Like, I drove past it twice.
I mean, fair.
I drove past it twice. And then, pulled in their parking lot,
5,000.
and then pulled in their parking lot, and like there wasn't anywhere to park. You know what I mean? So like the amount of space that they had, period, on the outside and the inside, seemed super limited to me. You know what I mean? Like, if you're setting up a grow, why would you choose this space? You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. Like, why would you put it right here?
'Cause, I mean, that's what I'm looking to do eventually, is I wanna.
And then the shape of the building was weird too. But you know, you walk in and they had a dry room. They had a room where people was trimming bud. They had their propagating room, a veg room, and 2 flower rooms. And they were going vertically. And there was 2 rows in the room. Maybe 3 rows in the room. I don't know.
That's, you know,
But still.
what does the state consider 3,000 square foot of grow space? Is it the whole building, or is it, you know, 3,000 square feet is 10,000 square foot building is grow space, and I use the rest of it for offices?
We can grow it in here.
Product storage, distribution, packaging.
Yeah, I'm not sure because all of that was in the building too. You know, the packaging, the labeling, the metric, you know what I mean? It was all in the building. It was all in the same building.
Cause like I see some of these places like Sunmed and Maryland where like they have, you know, overall it's 300,000 square feet of greenhouse space, but out of that, you know, their building itself is 1,000,000 square feet.
Right. You would assume, like, you know, if this size building is all I could grow in, then this would just be my growing facility, and then I would actually dry and do everything else somewhere else if I was allowed to. You know what I mean? That's what I would think.
Is I need a big piece of property, multiple LLCs, and a couple different licenses.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I would get whatever you want to get together in the space where you think is going to be okay, and have that ready for whenever they say, hey, you guys can do this, you'll already be ready. That's what I'm saying. But the chances of that being ready in the next 3 years, slim to none.
Excuse me, do you have other things that showed up?
Yeah, for sure. Give me 1 second. I need you to get some gloves on too.
Is that in the room?
Yeah, come on, I got you. Somebody cooking something. You got a pair of gloves right here, and I set my scissors on the table for you right there. No problem. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Michigan really ruined the market because they're allowed to have as many plants as they want, and it's a misdemeanor.
Are clones considered like one of those plants, or like when they go in a flower?
That's up to each state.
Where is Ohio's? Because like the recreational said, you can grow 6 per person, 12 per household. When?
Me a hot something of water that could fit in.
Yeah.
That way I can do a little quicker evaporation.
Alcohol in a mason jar. Was that because like whatever you put in was higher than the first couple hours? You strain it off, pour your alcohol over top of your sugar, and let the alcohol evaporate over the next day or two.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's the way I've always done it. But then again, I'm not a chemist, man.
yeah, me neither. So
That's pretty accurate.
he
Like,
takes
when I
his
make my
flour and
sugar,
stuff. He
I'll
soaks
take-
it in alcohol.
Yeah, I'll
And
take
he
like
shakes
a
it.
half ounce of flour, decarb it, and then I'll put that in a mason jar, and then just cover it with just enough Everclear to like that it covers your buds, and then every couple hours or so I'll go over there, shake it. Next morning I'll strain it out with a coffee filter, dump it over like 4 or 5 cups of sugar, and then I set it like basically just the same fan I got in my grow room, my little 6-inch oscillating fan. I'll set it right over top of it, and then within 24 hours all the alcohol's evaporated. I got this sugar that kind of tastes like Everclear, kind of tastes like weed, but you throw it into coffee, and then all of a sudden you don't taste that no more.
You want me to help you?
Absolutely.
So you can take concentrate
Okay.
and decarb it and thin it out with Everclear
Okay.
and then pour it over your sugar.
Basically same process.
Open your oven, turn your oven on 200 degrees. And you know, right before your oven closes, it hits that little latch where
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
got
close, and then you gotta close it all the way, or you leave it open right there. Parchment paper, sugar, tray, put it in there, come stir it every 15 minutes, your sugar be ready in a couple hours.
Sweet.
And you ain't gonna have no Everclear taste because you done evaporated it all. It's back to straight sugar. When you're done, it's dry, ready to go in a packaging. It's ready to go.
So you just decarb it, mix it with sugar, put it in the oven.
Bro, it depends. It depends on what you're using the sugar for.
Right.
If this sugar is going to go in baked goods, why am I decarbing it?
Because it's going to decarb while it's in the oven anyway.
And people don't realize. So you decarb something, and then you use that in a baking or cooking process. You're just degrading everything more. You know what I mean? So now you're taking everything from THC to CBN and you know what I mean? You're just degrading it more. So that's why some edibles you can eat and they just hit you way harder and you're just like, fuck, I'm tired today. Yeah, because it got way more CBN in it because they done cooked all the THC out of it. You know what I mean?
That would
So
explain them brownies on.
so yeah, so if you're gonna use
I'm on the dicks in the dirt.
if you're using something in a baked good, there's no point in decarbing it first or cooking with it because you're just cooking it twice.
So what would be the best method then?
So like if you're using your sugar just for baking, just process